Hey everyone, and welcome to your May 2022 readings. I decided to change up the scenery since it's just super beautiful out, and also speaking of change, I changed up the format this month. I might change it back, but this month we are focusing on all love readings across all signs. So that's what we're focused on. Remember that this is a collective reading for your sun, moon, or rising sign, right? So if this particular one doesn't resonate, I would check out your other two signs. Speaking of which, if you're wondering, I don't know, I follow tropical, I follow sidereal, which one? I would say just whichever you resonate with the most. So if you resonate more with sidereal and those associations, then follow the sun, moon, rising that's in that system, right? Or vice versa. So the timestamps will be down below as well. There are links also for how you can book a one-to-one reading with me. Of course, if we're doing collective reading, we can't hit the mark for every single like Aries or Aquarius all the way down, all the way through, right? So if you want something specific that is specific to your situation, I would recommend booking a reading with me personally. The links for that are down below. Also for how to get 20% off and 50% off of a one-to-one 90-minute reading with me. Last thing I'll say, oh yes, cards and cocktails. We didn't do it for the month of April. I know, I just got so busy. So we are doing it, cards and cocktails, hangout. It's a live hangout on Instagram that I do on Instagram. I might choose to do on YouTube. I still haven't gotten around to deciding whether I want to do it here or not because I have more people that follow me over there versus here. This is brand new, so we'll see. But if you want to stay up on that, follow me over on Instagram. I'm probably most likely going to be doing it either the first weekend of this month, which I know Mother's Day is there, so I might not do it then. I might do it when the moon is in Sag later in the month, which I think is around the 26th, 5th or 6th or 7th, something like that. So again, if you want to stay up on that, follow me over on Instagram. Last thing I'll say is that there are new monthly subscriptions that you can check out over on Patreon, and that's in the description as well, for how you can get ongoing divinatory guidance if you are going through a really stressful period, a transition period, with work, with life, with love, with anything, and you're wanting some like ongoing guidance. There are two options that I would recommend, right? One of them is a monthly subscription for weekly 30-minute readings, right? So it's like tapping in every single week on like what's up, right? And that's either live or recorded. And then the other is for a monthly reading with me for 90-minute reading, and that's either live or recorded. I only have a few spots for the lives, especially just because I need to make sure that I can deliver them. So if you want to get something like that done, feel free to hit me up. Without further ado, please continue on to your readings. Let me know how you like them. If you want me to stay focused on love, maybe we'll just keep that rolling for a little while too. I don't know. I'm still playing around with this channel, so I will talk to you guys next month. Thanks. Bye. Hello Cancer, and welcome to your May 2022 reading. So if you did not watch the beginning of this video, I briefly talk about what we're doing this month. I decided to switch it up. We are focusing on love, dating, relationships, all of that. So I decided to switch up the format just because I gotta be able to change things up every now and again. So we're going with love this month. Feel free to send me a DM if you want to make sure that I bring certain things back. I do try to like rotate through things just to keep it interesting, but just intuitively, I don't know why, I was just feeling, let's go in this direction. So we are doing some love readings this month. So let's get into it. All right. So, hope you guys had a decent solar eclipse. We are now officially in eclipse season, so, you know, may you have so much ease and support as we move through eclipse season. It is a time of new beginnings, and for that to happen, some things end, you know? Doesn't necessarily mean it's all bad, though, you know? So, let's get into it. Let's find out. So first, we're going to have the top row and bottom row. The top row is going to be all about you, Cancer. Remember, this is a collective reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, right? So want to be mindful of that. We're talking about Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. If this message resonates with you this month, awesome. If it doesn't, it just wasn't the message for you. You know, we can't possibly capture every single person that is a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising situation, right? It's not, it doesn't work that way. All right, so I'm feeling this last shuffle should do it. And then we are moving into checking what's going on with you. All right, so hopefully you guys can see these all right. I lost some of the light, sun went down, but I wanted to do at least one more reading. So I'm gonna move this over because I have something new that I'm also doing for you guys this month. So this is the top row, we're looking at you. Now, when we get into what is going on with a person of interest for you, if you are dating or if you are in a relationship where you have multiple relationships, whatever it is, you want to focus on the person that you're feeling the most pull towards, okay? So remember that you can't do this reading for all of your lovers, right? This needs to be for whoever you're feeling the strongest curiosity, the strongest emotional pull towards, right? So just keep that person in your mind. All right, I'm feeling this right here. All right. Okay. All right. And then I'm pulling 2 other cards this month as well for you. And we're going to be looking at your inner being and your outer being. So where things are for you internally and externally, right? Your internal landscape and what is happening on the external. So this is your internal landscape, very appropriate, and external. And for some reason, I'm feeling another card come through. All right. So we'll check all of this out. Let me just move these over. Wasn't planning it, but just felt it. Gotta go with what I'm feeling. All right. So, yeah, so these cards are really just about what's happening in your internal and external landscapes, right? So what's most prominent for you, because the reason that we want to take a look at this is because, you know, what's happening for us internally, sometimes on some not so conscious levels, on the deeper levels internally, we can have this experience of that is brewing under the surface that can affect the rest of our lives, obviously, which does affect our romantic experiences. Now I can see that my light is giving off a lot of glare with these cards, so perhaps I waited. Sorry about my squeaky floor, you guys. You know how that rolls. Let's see if that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. All right, let's see if I can bring that this direction and still get enough light. There we go. All right, thanks for bearing with me and my squeaky floor and my lighting. All right, so this is an interesting read, Cancer. Okay, there's so many places I want to go, but we're going to start with you. So let's start up here. We're looking at the Queen of Pentacles as the first one to start off. I know that there's a little bit of a glare here, so I'll bring this up a little bit closer so that you can see the card. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is really this beautiful, nourishing kind of energy, right? So I know that we're talking about a queen, so this is for however you identify, male, female, or non-binary, whatever, right? But we're talking about the energy, the characteristics of this card. This is what we're talking about. And so we're looking at the energies of, you know, being the Queen of Pentacles is sensory based, is warm and nourishing and loving in the energy that she provides, right? She likes to create a warm and loving home, a place that feels comfortable and inviting, and also is all about like the aesthetics of things, all the senses, taste, touch, right? Like everything being pleasurable, and also about taking care of herself and others, right? So kind of in some ways very earthly and Venusian, and in other ways kind of very water-like as well, right? So I feel like this is a good match for the Cancers, right? So it's just like taking care of yourself, taking care of others, having that nourishing and nurturing type of quality is what's coming through in this particular card, right? Now, what I'm seeing here too is that you're bored. Like this is not really, you know, the Four of Cups, we can say, yeah, this is about really like things not really looking the way that you want them to look, and really just not even seeing, focusing on what it is that you want, and not really seeing some other opportunities that could be there. So there's like some missed messages that are trying to actually come through here, and I'll bring that up so that you can kind of take a look there. But you look at her and it's like, oh, she's just bored, right? This is boredom. You're not really feeling it, right? You're creating this space. Also, let's just say for one moment, really quickly, lots of queen energy coming through here. And I'll come back around to that. So I'm just like seeing just several different things at once. We'll come back to these two cards here in a moment because I see a definite connection here. This other person that you're involved with, they are working hard for it. They are into you. They're into you. They like you. They're into you. They want this, right? And also they're working hard for it. They're putting the time and the work in to create this. Now, this can also be like, as much as they're into you, like having some false kind of optimism. You know, sometimes this is about not meaning that there isn't optimism to be had, meaning that they might be trying to come across as being more optimistic and brighter than they actually are in this particular case, right? So this could be partly what's occurring in the space for them internally, right? And that's part of the challenge that's coming up. So they're working hard for it, and you're over here like, you've got your shit together when it comes to like, I'm taking care of myself, I'm taking care of it. This could be taking care of your health and your body, but it's like, I put this energy out. I create this nourishing, nurturing, like warm, inviting kind of like sensory, pleasurable, you know, energy out there. And it's also, we're talking about a queen, right? So that's kind of like more of a mature kind of vibe with that, right? So this is where you are, and you're just feeling like, doesn't matter what, I get the sense that it doesn't matter how much work they do, they're not measuring up to stimulating you on the levels that you're wanting to be stimulated. And so therefore that's why the feeling of feeling bored or not feeling like you're really all that into it, right? Then we come around to, and I think we have a little bit more of the story that's being explained here, right? So for instance, I just moved my own cloth. Let's move that up. So for you over here, there are just like, and notice that we have two fives here, right? So the fives like tend to be about some kind of clashing and conflict. And I find it really interesting that, you know, here we have kind of like a clashing of a difference of ideas, of opinions, and of like thoughts that are kind of maybe even fragmented. And then over here for them, we have the sorry if you can hear my cat eating in the background. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's definitely past her feeding time, so forgive me. Oh, the joys of not having my office set up yet. Don't worry, soon enough. Okay, so sorry, back to this. So we're looking at a conflict of like conflicting desires, right? So we're looking at fire and air, right? So we've got fire down here. The fire is about desires. It's about our desires. Air is about our thoughts. It's about our communication. It's about the quality of our communication. So for both of you, it seems like it's, you know what it seems like to me? It seems like not being able to be on the same page, right? Like not being able to get things to be on the same page here. You know, on the one hand, you know, they and this can also be vying for power, like vying for like who has not necessarily the upper hand, but who has more of the energetic power, right? Like who's the one who has more of the power. So that can sometimes be about that, but not necessarily. More of what I'm seeing here is that, you know, there is just like this conflict of conflicting desires, right? That's what's happening here. So, and then when we're looking up at the Five of Swords, you know, it's just like part of this is also, is it worth the fighting? I feel like there is like the message that's coming through is that there's needing to be like from both sides, there needs to be more conscious communication, conscious resolution, you know, kind of tactics that are being used to bridge the gap here that is happening, because there is a gap, there is a missing of communication that's happening here, right? There's conflicting perspectives and conflicting desires, and then it's like not being able to be on each other's page. The thing with the swords though is like it's like if you win the argument, if you win the communication, is it worth the fight? Was it worth it? You know, so being able to recognize when there's a no-win situation and then choosing to bow out gracefully and just like pick and choose your battles, essentially. So this is for both of you, right? So both of you are in this space. And, you know, I'm just getting the sense that whoever this person is, it's like, you know, you need to really ask yourself, is this matching up to what it is that you want? Are they really the person that you want to be pursuing? Because it looks like you're bored and you're having conflicting ideas and desires that are coming from both of you, and there's just not really being met, right, for either of you. You know, like they're trying hard and you're just like, I don't know, right? Now, I say this also because when we look at your internal landscape, what's happening for you internally, we have the Two of Swords, right? And I'll just lift that up so that we can see it without the glare. We have the Two of Swords, right? Two of Swords is one of the most, I feel like it's a very watery kind of air sign type of card, right? So the swords, again, this is about our thoughts, this is about our ideas, our beliefs, our communication, our personal truths, our, you know, that's all the things that it's about, right? So, and we see that she's blindfolded, and there's the moon and the water, and so there's a lot of water that's happening in this, a lot of, you know, the moon having to do not just with water and the emotions, but also the intuitive aspects, right? When you're blindfolded, you kind of almost like, if you've ever done that for yourself, you've probably noticed that you your other senses tune in and turn on, right? And so this blindfold is just like her going within to make this decision and having to tune into your intuition. And this is what's necessary, is needing to tune into your intuition in order to make this decision, because you're at a crossroads and you're trying to kind of figure out what you want to do, which path you want to take. Now, the way that I normally read internal and external cards is that this is not just about, this isn't about just the love, right? This isn't just about this situation here, this love, dating, relationship situation that we're looking at. This could be just that, but this is usually what I'm reading. This is about life. So I don't know if you have some other kind of paths that you're considering and you're trying to decide between, but I get the sense that this is definitely a part of it, given what I'm seeing, especially right here, right here and here. So that's what I'm seeing here. Now, what we have on, like, that's external, what's going on in your external world for you, right? Remember, this is internal. So when we're looking at internal, we're looking at like sometimes these could be some of the deeper layers that are not necessarily as conscious for us, right? So then we have, again, another queen, right? But we have the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands, like, there's all this queen energy that's going on, right? Meaning that kind of, you know, there's a certain level of having your shit together that you've got to be a king or a queen, right? And so, and this is really stepping into the self-confidence, being able to step into being self-assured, not arrogant, but being self-assured, being self-confident, being also like another version of, there's a lot of warmth, you know, and the Queen of Wands is like, is very sensual and passionate and very inspired and creative, right? So there's just like all of these really fiery kind of qualities, you know, just very like kind of warm-hearted, like there's the person that you want to have, like you want to have this person around, you feel good around them, right? So just like warm and open and welcoming and even inspiring just by being the way that you are with yourself, like for others, right? So I also got the sense to just pull one extra card, and what I'm seeing here that's added into it is having to do with, look, you've had to go through a lot to get to this place. You know, you've had to go through some battles to get here, but this is like wisdom one. It's also stamina, right? So it's like the wisdom that you've gleaned from having to go through what you've had to go through in life, the battles and things that you've had to go through in life to get to this point, to get to where you are. And along the way, that means that you've gleaned quite a lot of wisdom, right? You come at, you know, you come at life, especially when it comes to the realm of love. I feel like this is directly related because I got the hit to like pull another one, right? So you're coming at this from a perspective that, you know, it's just like, look, it's taken a lot for me to get here, and I got some wisdom for it, like for it to show for it. And also this is like kind of holding your ground, but having the stamina and the endurance to actually do so. So you're not green, you're kind of seasoned in this way. Now again, when we're reading this, we're looking at sun, moon, or rising for Cancers, but we're also doing this as a collective reading. You know, I just like to remind people that there's no way to capture every single person's love situation when we're doing a collective. So that's why I say if the message resonates with you, then this month the message for you. If it's not, then check back next month or check your other signs, you know? So so that's what we have, you know, showing up for you. Now, how, like, we can easily see how this is going to color the experience that you're having with this particular person. Now, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this. I'm just trying to figure out which decks I want to use. I know which deck I want to use. We're going to use this one here. I'm feeling it. So, so let's take a look. I'm actually really curious about, what is it that is going on here for both of you? You know, what are you guys at odds with, right? So for them, they're feeling like it has more to do with conflicting desires, right? So I want to know a little bit more about why they feel that way. What are the conflicting desires that are going on? You know, so that way we can take a look and see, like, is this really workable? I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm seeing that I don't know that you're really wanting to do that, but I'm getting like, I'm feeling like two more in the mix here for some reason. All right. Okay. And then let's take a look at for you, right? There's just conflicting perspectives that are coming through for you. And I'm curious about, well, one, yeah, no, let's look. I'm sorry, my mind goes to different places sometimes. So let's take a look at, I want to know what this is actually about. I'm getting two for that. And I would also like to have an idea of, let's see, what else am I curious about? I want to know a little bit more about this internal decision that you're looking to make and how that affects this love reading specifically. Ooh, I'm feeling this card right here. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to take a look at that. And is there anything else that I'm feeling that I'd like to know about? Yeah, honestly, I want to know the direction that this is headed in. So for the next 30 days, what's the direction that this is actually headed in, right? So I'm feeling 1, 2, and 3 there. Yeah, that's it. I'm feeling 3 there. Okay. So this is what we're going to look at in the extended reading. What are these divisive, you know, conflicting perspectives about that are going on here? What are the conflicting desires that are happening over here for them? What is this decision? Like, what's more about this decision that you're looking to make here with the Two of Swords? And then just over the next 30 days, what's the direction that this is actually going to be headed in, right? So that's what we're going to be covering in the extended version over on Patreon. We are also going to be looking at the cards. We are keeping with these. So the God and Goddess cards. So again, if this is your first time joining me here, so just so that you know, the way that I look at this is that these are either, if it's deities, if you believe in deities, these are your homies that got your back for the month. They're showing up and they're just kind of like, don't worry, we got your back. We're going to help you out, help you navigate this. If that is not within your belief structure, try to look at them as archetypes, right? So again, we are like, when I'm reading cards, please remember, we are not looking at gender. We're not looking at identity. We are looking at the yin and yang energies, the masculine and feminine energies that exist within all of us, that exist in the universe. It is the polarity of energies that balance everything out, right? So that's what we're looking at. We can look at them as archetypes. The different gods and goddesses that show up can be seen as archetypes that we can look to emulate or embody as we move through the month, right? So just something to be aware of when we're looking at this is that's the perspective, because the more extra support that you can have, like the more tools that you have at your disposal to help you out, the better, right? Then we're gonna look at I'm seeing this deck as really just a direct message from your ancestors or your guides, like your counsel, the ones that are around you. Yes, we get like some kind of spiritual advice that comes through in the tarot, but I'm seeing this more as like overall for your life, for the month of May. This is the direct messaging that you are getting straight from them, where they're like, hey, this is what we think you need to know or pay attention to that's going to actually help you out. We're trying to help you out, right? So lastly, we're going to take a look at what is tripping you up. What are your blind spots? Where are the things that you're not wanting to look at? Oh, that is too many cards. That you're not wanting to particularly like look at. And these are the things. These are our shadows that we typically go, oh, I can put that off, or I can sweep that under the rug, or I don't really need to look at that right now. But these are the ways that we get tripped up in the world, right? Okay. And knowing that, facing that will help us to actually move through our challenges, right? Now we're going to pick also a rune to guide us through, and this is all going to be in the extended reading over on Patreon, so the link for that is down below. Remember to check out the links below if you want to get 50% off of a one-to-one reading with me with your own personal referral link. Patreon members get 20% off of one-to-one readings with me just anyway for being on Patreon. There are also a bunch of links down below to check out that I've already probably touched on a million times, but check it out. So timestamps are also down below. All right, I will see you guys next month. Thank you for being here. Bye, Cancer.